Well, hello once again, everybody. This is Brian Stat with Maxwell Realty. I have had an enormous number of requests to show off some of the features on the consumer side of the Maxwell Realty mobile app. So I'm going to show you a couple of tips and tricks so you can better help your clients when they're working with the app, and a few things that you might find really exciting and cool. So I'm going to show you what those look like just right now. So if you've already downloaded the app, you can see that I've got my demo agent app up and running, and I am logged in as a consumer, and this is the app that I get on my iPad. So if you are looking at it on a phone, it's going to look a little bit different, but you can put it on a tablet or an iPad and you're going to have a few more features. I'm just using the iPad in this demo because of the screen size, a little bit easier to show off. So here we are. I'm a consumer logged into the app and I'm searching for properties. As you can see, I'm searching for properties here in Sherwood Park. Now, every time I move my map, you notice on this left-hand sidebar, we have properties are changing, okay? So every time I move my map someplace, the properties update. So on the iPad version, I can actually slide this over and get thumbnail view right off of the main page. Each one of those thumbnails is actually a live listing. What I mean by that is I can actually flip through the spinner on any one of these listings, which is kind of a really cool feature without having to actually click into the listing. Now I can, of course, click directly into that listing and it gives me the full listing page. But if I want to just flip through some quick photos on any one of these individual listings, I can do that pretty much any time that I want. The other thing as a consumer that I can do is I can hit the little heart icon and it'll flip over to being one of my saved properties, something I've indicated that I like, and you as my agent will be able to get a notification about some of those shared properties, and we'll cover that in another video. But this is also for my own personal reference. I can share, or I can save a couple of these, and I think I had a couple saved from before. On the left hand sidebar, if I click on the saved button, it updates all of the properties that I've saved, so I can find them all in one particular spot. And of course I can spin those photos right off the main page as well. So let's go back to the map, and we're going to just look at a couple of features of the map itself. Very cool features. Number one, of course, I can zoom in on my own location by hitting the zoom button. Okay, so that's the location where I am. Of course, I can pick any location that I want here in Sherwood Park. I'm going to just zoom in on this one. Now I've decided that really what I want to do is I just want to be in this one area, so I'm going to just click on the draw button, that little pencil right up in the corner underneath the coordinates button, and I'm just going to do a circle with my finger. So I'm going to even do a weird one here. Let's go a little bit around there and a bit around there, and I close that, and down at the bottom of my screen I have a red button that says apply. I'm going to apply that. Now the only thing that I'm going to get now is what I drew. So all of these listings are within my drawn area. Okay, that's very important to understand because my weird drawn area is very specific to me. And if up in the top right hand corner you see a button that says clear map, up where it says filter, right underneath filter is clear map. So if I hit the clear map button, now I'm back to my full map again. Okay, and I can scroll through the properties that I like. We'll come back to one other feature that I want to show you on the map page, but for the time being I'd like to show you what the individual listing page looks like. So if I click on, here we are, it's a $1.15 million property, quite lovely. If I scroll down, first thing you notice, of course, is that it shows me as the agent. This is, my face is all over here, and this is branded to me. If any client wants to actually schedule a showing, you can see I've got this spinner here that says when would you like to select a showing time, or a showing date rather, and it will send me a text message or an email asking me to book that showing for them. Comes directly to me as their agent. Up on the top here I've got some information basic information about the property. And I also have three, right underneath that, I've got three different headers. There's highlights, there's details, and there's neighborhood. So under the highlights section, which is the section I'm in right now, I get a description of the property, I get a history of the property, estimated mortgage payments, and of course this contact window. Down here it says listing courtesy of Remax. But I can enter in I can enter in my contact information and hit request more info, and that of course goes to my agent, who happens to be the demo agent that you see. There's also a second button that I can choose, which is request a showing. That changes this information down at the bottom here, and when I click request a showing, of course that also comes back to me as their agent, not to the listing agent. I can select a time and a date from this spinner here and just click on request showing. So that's, as a consumer, that's a lot of handy information right there. I can also click on the mail button, the little envelope, and I automatically am taken into a email on my iPad with all of the information about the property that I'm interested in. That's going to send automatically to my agent. I can type a quick message and hit send. I also have the opportunity to click on the phone number of my agent, and it asks me if I want to text or call them directly from this screen. So if I scroll down all of these photos, you see I got one beautiful, nice, long strip of photographs. I don't have to spin through anything. I can just look at them all just at a glance. If I want full screen photos, of course, I can do that. If I just click on one, I can actually spin through the photos in full screen mode. So that gives me obviously a lot more detail of things that I want to take a look at. So let's close that out for a second. Now if I go over where it says highlights, details, and neighborhood, if I click on details, I get just sort of a basic rundown of some of the details of that particular listing. If I click on the MLS number, it automatically copies it to the clipboard for me. Maybe I want to just save that into a notepad or something. As a consumer, I'm keeping my own list. I can do that. One of the best tabs here is the neighborhood tab. A really cool part about the neighborhood tab is I instantly get this overview map, but I can click on directions and it'll ask me if I want to open directions in Google Maps or Apple Maps automatically to drive me over to that property. As well, I can click on Google Street View and it's going to drop me right on the pin there where I want to be. Of course, this is right at the entrance of Estate Drive, if you know Sherwood Park. So this property would be just on the other side of those trees, I believe. And of course, I can drive up and down the street. That would be no problem at all if I wanted to go and see what that neighborhood was all about. Okay, so that's the Google Street View already integrated into our app. I can also click the nearby button, and the nearby button tells me all the stuff that's nearby that address. So this is a sort of an estate rural property, so let's maybe pick one that isn't quite so rural. Let's grab one over here on Heritage Drive. Let's take a quick look at that street view again. There it is there. So I can zoom in, I can see, look around the neighborhood. That's pretty good. Nobody's rebuilding a transmission on their front porch, so that's looks like it'd be a nice neighborhood. And maybe just drive up the street and see what kind of stuff is going on here, if there's parks nearby or whatever. Okay, so that's our Google Street View. And then of course if I hit nearby, now I got a whole bunch of stuff that's kind of nearby. Along the bottom of the screen there's coffee, food, fun, shopping, and schools. I can hit any number of those and it'll automatically populate them with their icons on there. If I unclick the coffee and the fun, now I just see which schools are around in the neighborhood as well. So that gives me another opportunity to see what's sort of close to that particular property. We've also integrated with the walk score. You can see this property is not very walkable. It's only a 12 walk score, says it's car dependent, and almost all errands will require a car. So if I'm okay with that, then this might be a good property for me. As well, I've entered in 3 addresses: my work, my school, and also Grandpa's house. And every listing that I pull up will give me the commute times based on Google Traffic Analytics for if I want to drive to that location, take a bus, walk, or use a bicycle. So I can see that this house is going to take me 8 minutes to drive to work. And I might be okay with that, but every single listing, doesn't matter which one I pick, every one of those listings, if I go to the neighborhood button and scroll down to the bottom, is going to give me a real-time Google traffic analytic about how long that individual property will take to get to those 3 different locations. One more cool thing that I'll show you before I let you folks go is I'm going to go back to the map here, and I want to show you something that is probably my personal favorite. That would be this commuter button. So underneath where we had our draw button up here, I'm just going to click the next button down. That next button down is our commute times. Now I've indicated that I work at a certain location. I've entered in that address, and I really don't want to drive more than 15 minutes from any property that I want, and I usually leave the house at about 8:15. That's about the time of day I want to travel. I always take my car, but if I'm really kind of a bicycle person, I could do that too. But I'm going to leave my car, and then I'm just going to hit save location. Now I've done that for 3 different locations: my work, the kids' school, and even Grandpa's house. So if I click on work and I just check that off and I hit apply, it automatically gives me a real-time map. If I'm traveling at that time of day, I'm not willing to go more than 20 minutes, all of the properties within that weird looking map will get me to my work within 20 minutes. Add to that my school map. I can just overlay that one right over the top. So I'm willing to drive a little further to get to a good school, so that's why that map is a little bit bigger. And of course, Grandpa's house is really important. We want to make sure that the kids can still hook up with Grandpa. And actually, we really like to ride our bikes more than anything over to Grandpa's house rather than driving all the time. So we're willing to ride our bikes about 15 minutes to get to Grandpa's house. So I'm just going to hit save location. I'm going to hit apply, and now it overlays. Look, I've got a bike map right over top of there. Now I know that over all these 3 locations are going to get me to all the places I want in the times that I need at the time of day that I need. I can just click on that draw button, and I can just draw this exact shape that I want to. Just like that. That's going to be the ideal location for me. And now I've sorted out all the properties that I need. Up here I can click on the filter button in the top right hand corner. I can even slide out the price, say we can't afford more than $475, and we definitely need a few bedrooms for the kids, and we're going to have a couple of bathrooms. I hit search, and now I've got the perfect list just for me. Apparently I'm a trailer park kind of a person. So here we are. There's even a couple of condos here that we would be really happy to live in. I think that one looks really nice. So that's a little bit about the app. The one thing that I am not able to show you today about the app is one of the newest features, which is augmented reality. What I can show you, I don't have the camera working on this video, but if you just click on Max Scan, that's our augmented reality. That would normally show you a picture of your surroundings using the camera. And of course, I can just circle around wherever I'm at. And as I move, I'm able to see that these properties are 359 yards away. I can click on this one here in Foxwood and automatically pulls the property up. So you'll have to play around with that a little bit yourself. But I hope you find this video helpful, and I hope that it helps you to increase your business as we continue to work hard to make sure that you have the best possible tools out in the marketplace today. That's it for me for Maxwell Realty. I hope you enjoy this video, and there will be more. Send in your requests if you have any requests about videos that you would like to learn a little bit more about our tools. Thanks for watching.